Welcome to Pagan Crafting. Today we have an anti-anxiety spell jar. Since I made this sigil, I am calm and at peace. The future of this spell has been on my mind almost daily, for this is a season of less sunlight, a season of some darker times. Maybe our mental health can be affected due to the weather changes and the seasonal changes. So I've designed this anti-anxiety spell jar to help you in any way that I can during these winter months. Stick with me and let's create this spell and take back your control. So the ingredients you're going to need for this spell today are we're going to grab some blue ribbon, some blue wax stamp seal, some embellishments. We're going to use the heart chakra tuning fork for cleansing. We're going to use some sage, ginger, labradorite, the lunar eclipse for anointing oil, wishing crystals, chamomile, lavender, mint, cloves, pink love witch's salt, and rosemary. These are my personal spells that I design on this channel. So I do have some spell jar sheets of various different colors. The only color I'm missing here is orange actually. I like to color coordinate my sheets with my spells because I believe in color psychology and color magic, and it makes me very happy and it pleases me to no end to color coordinate everything. So I'm going to use a blue one today because it's going to instill the water and calmness. You can download these sheets from my Pagan Crafting Etsy store. At the end of this video, I'm going to include a coupon code for you so you can get a discount if you wish to download these sheets for your collection yourself. So starting off with dating your work, it seems so silly, but I look back on scraps of paper and stuff I've written down and I really wish I would have dated it, been known to when I've done it, and see how long where I've come along from when I've done it, how maybe I've evolved the spell since then. It's kind of cool to know. Now, the writing down the intention, this is to be calm and at peace. We're going to use the anti-anxiety and anti-stress intention. I'm using a royal blue rack stamp seal. I'm using almond oil as my carrier oil for my anointing oil, but that is also, I believe I was using the beaver moon, the blood moon oil, and I'm also using the lunar eclipse oil all in one, so it's going to be awesome. Objects is a wax stamp seal. I'm going to put the intention of water for calming on top. Herbs, I have sage, chamomile, peppermint, rosemary, ginger, clover, lavender and chamomile for the flowers, and crystals is labradorite and clear quartz crystals. Any of these you can substitute. Is just the intention as I'm describing the herb to you momentarily. As long as the intention of what you're looking for is there, find a herb that you may have or that you can acquire in your region that will correspond to the intention I wish to invoke in this spell for you today. Now this is a first look on camera in my sigil book. I started this sigil book for this channel, and if anybody orders any sigils from my Pagan Crafting channel, it'll be going to this book and this book only. So using this, normally in my spells I would show you how to create a sigil. This one I decided to activate it with moon water and watercolor and activate it by painting. So if you wish to see how that sigil is made, please check this out here above. And here I'm going to use the Issa, and that's a standstill rune. It's a full Thark rune. It also represents the ice because I wish to hold space. You need to stop, be mindful, reflect, hold space with yourself, with self-love when having anxiety attacks. It's easier said than done. But I too have suffered from anxiety, severe anxiety, and I definitely know what it's like and how inhabilitating it can be at times. My daughter suffers from severe anxiety, and this one spell was definitely designed with her in mind, as well as those that are suffering through the winter months that we have in the northern hemisphere here. Can be hard on our psyche and hard on our mental health. I noticed when I lived on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, definitely the February months, because it rained all the time, we didn't really get a lot of sunlight during those times, and the seasonal depression was so high. People were so sad during those times. So I really feel this spell could do a lot of justice and help out a lot of those in need right now. Now, starting off with our candle here, I like to start off with intention. Sad to say, I lost some footage of cleansing the area. As you can see here, I transferred the sigil onto my candle. I didn't inscribe it. The sigil itself was too intricate to scribe with my coffin nail. So I'm just going to use my plain old Sharpie and get it quite detailed in. Now, one thing that my footage had left out is that I cleansed the area with sound today. Each video I try to do something different for cleansing. Now, this is for my brothers and sisters out there who either A, live in a smaller space, or 2, are sensitive to smoke, asthma, you name it, don't like it, don't care for it, can't use it, can't get a hold of it. So a sound cleansing for your space is really good. Humming, mantras, putting on a sound, using singing bowls, using the tuning forks. Now I want this to come towards me, so I'm going to anoint the candle towards me, not away. Not like we're protection against psychic attack where we anointed it away from us. This one, we're going to draw it in towards, we want all these goodies to come to us. Pull it towards yourself. Missed our footage of the cleansing, but back to, we had a nice glass jar. Please don't ever use plastic. In my beliefs, it may not be everybody's, I believe plastic can absorb the magic. And also it's just nicer for something a little sturdier. We're going to start off with love salt, a witch's pink love salt. You can see here on my channel on how to make it. You can also use a rose salt or Himalayan salt. You can tell by the differences here. Let me turn off the lights. A little bit of differences that you can see. Let's set the mood here with the lights a little dimmer. So if you don't have the love salt, you can use Himalayan or rose salt, because I want to incorporate some self-love into this spell. So that's why this is going to be our first ingredient. Check out my latest thrift find, a little Canadian maple leaf, little spoon. These are from Spoon tea sets. Oh, little collector spoons, but I love it. So I always start the base of my spell jars with a type of salt to purify, to amplify, to absorb. This is to definitely amplify. We want to start off with, I want to love ourselves. We want to have that self-love. Now to promote calming, love, energy, and extra self-love. Now our next ingredient is sage, ruled by Jupiter and fire, and salt is ruled by the moon and water. So this is kind of a cool little balance for the rock for the next on top. Here I'm breaking it up. I want to incorporate quite a bit more of the material of the plant into this spell jar, so I'm breaking it up. I'm not putting in larger chunks. Sage is for purification, protection, cleansing, wisdom, strength, and healing. But not a lot of people know that sage also supports the brain health and memory. Any of those have you been suffered from anxiety, know that you also suffer from short-term memory loss, or right in the middle of a conversation, it's gone. So this sage can help support memory function, the memory health. With each scoop, with each love that you put in, throw down intention. I am calm. I am at peace. My anxiety has no power over me. I am calm. I am at peace. Now our next ingredient is chamomile. This is wild chamomile that you see here that I harvested this summer in July from my province, Alberta, just a couple hours outside my city. So the chamomile looks pretty spindly. It's not these giant, big, fluffy, oofy flowers that you normally see, which I think I'm gonna have to head down to a Latin store to find myself some of those big fluffy chamomile flowers, because I thought this would be enough for my tea, but it's just enough for my spells. Now chamomile is ruled by the sun and of course ruled by fire. It's an anxiety, reduces stress. It reduces fear, it reduces insomnia, and it helps reduce depression. And this also has to do with sun magic. For those of you that saw my How to Make Yellow Sun Salt, sun magic is a great way to invoke for the dark season, and when you have a little bit of more mental health sadnesses, let's see, more little depression. The chamomile can be a great uplifter for that with some sun magic. Now peppermint. This peppermint was harvested from the north side of Edmonton in 2019. I do tend to write down where I collected it as well, because if it was in the city, like this was collected in the city near more of an industrial part of town, so I decided to use this for my spells and not necessary for my tea blends. Still equally as potent, but I'm just being wary of any chemicals that could be throughout the air in the area that I once lived in. Now peppermint is ruled by Venus and it's ruled by air. It stabilizes the mood swings, it enhances cognitive skills, and it improves memory. It increases alertness and reduces stress, and it boosts self-confidence. Peppermint is also good for prophet dreams, so if you're suffering from insomnia due to your anxiety, this could all help you there as well. Rosemary, ruled by Mercury, and a little bit of the sun magic once again. Useful in the medicinal world to treat anxiety and stress by reducing cortisol, the stress hormone in the body. Rosemary gives a calming effect to help stay relaxed. Even a cup of tea helps reduce the stress levels. I'm going to start trying a rosemary cup of tea a day. I've never tried rosemary tea, so after doing a little bit of research for this spell, I got to try it. So I'll let you know. If you've tried rosemary tea, please let me know. Ginger, they're also ruled by the sun, ruled by fire, reduces the excess energy in the digestive system. So thus, reducing pressure on the mind, which counteracts harmful chemicals produced by the body. You could use a ginger powder here. Please don't use fresh ginger, for it'll break down in your spell jar and actually can rot and cause some molding. So just a powder's fine, unless you want to chop up the ginger yourself, dry it out, chop it out, have it ready. It'd be super awesome. Dehydrate some out there. I thought I'd use that cute little cap and it would go in quite nice because I love everything mini. But apparently that little mini funnel didn't want to agree with me today. So I'm going to use my mini little spoon and put it exactly where I wish it to go. With each spoonful, I lay down the intent. Once again, I am calm and I am at peace. Now our next ingredient coming up is lavender. Lavender is very, very, very common herb, and it should be an easy one for you to acquire. You can grow lavender yourself. You can buy lavender even at local stores where they sell flour as well. Spices and herbs, you can find lavender there. There are many different grades of lavender too. There's some I use for cooking, some for tea, some for my satchels, and only some for my spells. Sounds like a lot, but I only have 3 different types of lavender. I was quite generous to lavender here, for it's an anti-anxiety and it's a help treating nervousness. It targets the brain centers and related to emotions. It acts as a sedative even. It enables one to access their feelings, therefore reduce stress and anxiety. Now we have clover, ruled by Jupiter and also fire. It's a natural mood booster. It's good for healing, prosperity, and a natural anxiety relief. I also included a healthy amount of clover in this spell as well. For a nice mood booster is always wonderful to have too. Now my famous wishing crystals. I must have them in all my spell. A clear quartz crystal is ruled by Venus. It's to amplify and enhance the spell and to purify all intentions. A little for my candle and a little for my jar. I call them wishing crystals because I used to wrap little teeny tiny scrolls and little teeny tiny wishes around the crystals and wrap and roll them up. And all my wishes came true when I did that. So I still have a lot of these crystals, and now I use them in all my spells, so I figured they would amplify too. Speaking of little teeny tiny scrolls, I also have this little blue scroll that I use a little jump ring to hold it in place. And I've written something on it already. You can write whatever you wish, but I wrote this. My anxiety has no power over me. This was inspired by someone very dear to me, and I thought those words rang pretty true and pretty powerful. So I decided to use that in this spell as well. Remember, repeat after me. My anxiety has no power over me. Let's turn the lights on. Let's have a little look, because I would like to show you not exactly where the little scroll is going, but I would like to show you my next ingredient. My next ingredient is ruled by Venus and air. It is a labradorite. It protects, it strengthens the aura. It calms an overactive mind. It reduces fear, reduces insecurities and stress. Out of all the research I did with labradorite, there's so many claims to fame with this stone. This stone comes from Labrador, Canada, a giant piece of land off the east coast of our Canadian lands. And it is said that some aurora borealis was caught in the stone, and a young warrior, an Inuit warrior, was sent out by his village to help the aurora borealis who was trapped in the stone. With a bang of his spear, he was able to release some of the northern lights, but still some remained trapped. I believe I was called to use this stone for this spell. Spirit asked me to use it for this spell, and I had to research later what the stone meant. Finding the folklore, finding the meanings, and everything that it had to do to reducing fears, insecurities, to reduce stress. It was amazing to see and use. Labradorite is known as a stone of transformation. It helps you develop spiritually and emotionally. This is a crystal work to feel confident and self-empowered, to follow your dreams and ultimately achieve what you want in life. Labradorite is said to bring out the best in people. So there is a reason why Spirit chose me to use this stone. Out of all the ingredients here today, if you can acquire some labradorite, I really hope you do, even no matter how tiny it is, even if it's just some little chips to put in the spell. I believe this is what is really going to help empower. I always like to hide a sigil underneath my wax stamp seal. I'm using Issa here with the full Thark. And then on each spell jar, I will write the sigil that was created to enhance my magical intention. With each line, with each stroke, repeat your intention. I repeat a lot of the same words during my video, and that is on purpose. It's even to invoke and cast and instill it into your mind and help solidify it out into the universe to create this, to make this happen. The more people that watch this will send out this magic into the universe and help each other out. Using blue for calming, peace symbol with the moon. I have a heart for self-love and a key to happiness. I've put them all together on some jump rings, burning off the ends just a little bit. I got this idea from Mel, one of our subscribers. Helps the ribbon from fraying and running. It just looks a little neater, and also helps feed it through the jump rings a lot easier. Heck yeah. Just dressing up my little bottle a little bit with some nice blue calming color. Blue represents stability, loyalty. It's an emotional balance for friendship, luck. It also represents a feminine color too, as well as a masculine. Now let's have some fun with a little bit of wax, because I like to pour wax all over all my jars to seal the intention in, as well as I just happen to like to piss around with wax a little bit. I will admit that, but that's okay. But the wax does seal the jar and seal all the intentions in. I do a double pour because this jar is a quite larger one than I normally would work with. So you don't have to do a double pour. I'm just doing that here. Sealing it over the ribbon. Now, while you seal in your jar, I want you to remember something, that you are a powerful being. I would like you to try meditating with your labradorite if you have, and banish negative thoughts so you have faith within yourself. It'll help calm your overactive mind as well as relieve stress, anxiety, and fear. Wearing blue, being around blue, having the blue color around you, a t-shirt, a blouse, a dress shirt, a blue stone in your pocket, a labradorite, even lapis lazuli would be a beautiful stone to have in your pocket as well. An angel light, aura light stone, I believe it's called, is another amazing stone. Now the wax stamp seal I chose here has to do with the water. The symbol itself invokes water, it invokes uniqueness, and it's one of my favorite creatures, an octopus. Yeah. So I just chose the only wax stamp seal I had in my collection that invoked water, so I can have everything combining and working together. I'd like to thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. As always, it is a pleasure creating with you. Throw me down what ingredients is that you may use in your anti-anxiety spell jar. Today I just chose ingredients that were easy to acquire, that are not anything special. Here's our coupon code for 10% off on Pagan Crafting as a thank you again for chilling out with me today. Throw me down a little like up, subscribe, ring that bell so you can be notified when the next video comes out, and I shall see you there on the next Pagan Crafting. Have a magical day.